This broadcast of Stoughton High School football on WSTO TV is brought to you by Stoughton Hospital. For more than 100 years, our neighbors in the Stoughton area have trusted Stoughton Hospital to provide personalized, forward-thinking, expert health care. Stoughton Hospital is a proud supporter of WSTO programming. Trusted care close to home. The UPS store of Stoughton. You can't do it all at once, but you can do it all in one place. 2364 Jackson Street, next to Papa Murphy's. Hanson Electronics, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent and Radio Shack dealer. Inkworks of Stoughton, unique digital and offset solutions. Pizza Pit of Stoughton, fresh, fast, and hot delivery of our great pizzas, sandwiches, chicken, and more. And McGlynn Pharmacy, your local full-service pharmacy with free delivery. Welcome to Collins Field in Stoughton for high school football. Tonight, it's the Stoughton Vikings taking on the Fort Atkinson Blackhawks. And a good evening to you on WSTO and WSTO.tv. James Weingard with you along the line, and this is the final regular season home game for the Vikings, and we are glad to have you with us here on WSTO tonight. The Vikings come in at 3-3 in the Badger South Conference. They are 5-3 overall, and the Fort Atkinson Blackhawks currently sit at 0-6 in the conference, and they are 0-8. Overall. We have the national anthem for you coming up here in just a moment, and the opening kickoff as well as we welcome you in. Vikings need a win tonight to make the playoffs, and right now we're going to step aside here for just a second. We'll get the playing of our national anthem, and then we will get into our game tonight.
The playing of our national anthem.
There is our national anthem tonight, courtesy of the Stoughton High School Band. And let's take a look at standings right now in the Badger South Conference as we get ready to start tonight's ball game. Monona Grove, who beat the Vikings last week at MG's homecoming, currently at 6-0, 8-0 overall. Then Oregon and Watertown, the other two teams to beat the Vikings so far this year. They're both at 5-1. In the conference, 6-2 overall. Then the Vikings sit alone in a fourth place at 3-3, and then Milton and Monroe tied at 2-4, Edgewood's at 1-5, and Fort's at 0-6. And coming into tonight's game, then the coin toss won by Fort Atkinson. They deferred. Stoughton will receive the opening kickoff tonight. And we are glad to have you along with us here on WSTO and WSTO.tv, wherever you may be. We hope you're having a good start to your fall season. Tell you what, it has, boy, we've experienced just about any type of weather that you can here through the season so far. It was 80s a couple weeks ago, and now we are at a balmy 40 degrees tonight. Cloudy skies, east breeze about 9 miles an hour, and temperatures will continue down through the 30s through the course of the game. And so it is parka time. I see some of the coaches on the Vikings sideline with shorts on yet. And to them, I say, good for you. I'll sit up here in the box with an open window in front of me and a heavy coat on tonight. So Fort will kick the football off as we welcome you into our broadcast location. James Weingard with you tonight. My co-announcer Spencer Meyer was up here with me a couple weeks ago. He's down on the field tonight running camera, and hopefully he doesn't get run over. But we'll see how that plays out. Brandon's on the camera upstairs tonight. Blackhawks get ready to kick the football away here to start tonight's game. Max Branneman to kick things off. He approaches, and off it goes. Fielded at the 22-yard line. Coming this way along the near sideline, digs his way through across the 45 and pushes up to the 47-yard line. A good return there for the Vikings. 26-yard return. And so the Vikings will come out 1st and 10 on their own 47-yard line. Quarterback Adam Hobson for the Vikings. Hobson will keep it himself. Now tosses it out to the outside, and that's going to be to Quinn Arnott. Arnott with good running room up the far sideline. He'll be down at the Fort 29-yard line. 24 yards on the run, and it'll be a first down.
First down.
First and 10 for the Vikings on the Fort 29. Snap back to Hobson. He keeps it and gets tripped up as he gets to the 25-yard line. Pickup of 4, and it'll be 2nd down and 6 coming up. Second and 6 for the Vikings. Minute gone by here, first quarter. Handoff goes to Dwight Walker. And Walker's down to the 20-yard line. That'll be a pickup of 5.
Give us 5 on the play. 3rd and short.
3rd down and 1 now for the Vikings. Arnott this time off the left side, cuts all the way back across, stutter steps inside the 5 and down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 18. And it's 1st and goal for the Vikings. Mark him down at the 4. Handoff Walker. Starts outside, heads inside, and a touchdown for Stoughton. So Dwight Walker for 4 yards. 10:21 to go here in the opening quarter. Cade Spildy on to try the extra point.
Cade Spildy hooked up the extra point.
Out of the hold of Hobson. Snap is back. The placement and the kick is
and the extra point is
good.
Your score is 10-21.
So 10:21 to go in the first quarter. It is the Vikings 7 and Fort nothing. Spildy now 22 out of 24 on extra points. And we take a look at the replay of the touchdown run. You see Walker just starting off the inside and busts through the line and into the touchdown. So Walker from 4 yards out, and that gives the Vikings a lead at 7-0 with 10:21 to play here in the first quarter.
Kicking off the score, number 22, Cade Spildy.
Spildy to kick off for the Vikings. There's a
Back piece for Fort Atkinson.
really
James
nice
Vanderbilt.
feature piece from Dennis Semrau on ESPNWisconsin.com on Cade this week. It's he's obviously a football player, kicker. He's also a wrestler, and certainly encourage you to check out Dennis Semrau's feature on Cade Spildy on ESPNWisconsin.com. 10:21, time remaining here, opening quarter. And Spildy to kick the football away. Vikings showing support for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. They've got pink tape on their feet, ankles tonight. And Spildy puts a boot into it, and this will be fielded, covered up by Briar Cummings at the 34-yard line, and that's where the Blackhawks will start, 1st and 10.
34, 1st and 10, Fort.
All right, we'll see what the Blackhawks do here. Trailing 7-0, 10:19 to play in the opening quarter. James Vandermouse, the sophomore, is the quarterback. It's high over his head, and he will go. Oh, he lost a handle on it. Picked up by the Vikings, and they will score. Curtis Jaskulski picked up the loose ball, scrambled in from about 10 yards out, and the Vikings have another touchdown here with 10:12 to go. So the Vikings lead 13-0 on the fumble recovery for a touch and run back for a touchdown, the old scoop and score there. And so we will see what the extra point does here with Spildy. One of the Viking players late coming out onto the field. Snap back, placement, the kick is blocked. And no good. So we'll take a look at the fumble recovery and run back for a touchdown on the replay. See the snap go over the head of Vandermouse. He goes and chases it down, and then picked up at the 13-yard line by Jaskulski, and he trots it into the end zone for the touchdown. So with the blocked extra point, it's now 13-0. And the extra point game for Spildy is now 22 out of 25 on the season with that blocked extra point. And now we'll have the Vikings kick off again. So 2 touchdowns in 9 seconds. Vikings won 5 games to start the season, and now they're on a 3-game losing streak, needing to win tonight in order to get into the playoffs. Otherwise, if Vikings should happen to lose tonight, they would have a less than 500 mark in the conference season, or in the conference. And Spildy to kick the football away. This one a little bit deeper, and it'll be caught on the run by Bryce Mills. And Mills gets drilled and knocked down at the 31-yard line, 32-yard line. So they'll mark him down at the 32, and it'll be 1st and 10 for Fort Atkinson from the 32-yard line. 10:07 left here in the first quarter. Vikings up 13-0. And we'll see what Fort Atkinson comes up with here on the first down play. This time the snap goes to Brent Tarenga Jr. And Tarenga picks up a couple of yards on the play. He will be up to the 35. That's a gain of 3. And it'll be 2nd down and 7. And I think for the first time this year, the PA announcer and I actually agree on a yardage. Second and 7 from the 35-yard line. It's a friendly banter and a friendly battle that we have every home game, but the 2nd and 7. Vandermouse to throw, and the catch is made out to the far side. That goes to Trent Hochtel, and Hochtel's out of bounds at the 41-yard line. That'd be a pickup of about 7 or 6, and we'll see where they mark him out. It'll be very close to a first down, and they will say he's let's see. No, it's going to be a first down, so a gain of 7.
Gain of 7 on the 1st and 10 Fort.
So 1st and 10. Vandermouse this time, and he gets wrapped up behind the line of scrimmage. Drew Pasold on the stop. Vandermouse loses 3 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 13.
Second and 14.
So 2nd and 13 back at the 38-yard line. Coming up on 8.5 minutes left here in the first quarter. Vandermouse has the snap, runs up the middle, and he gets undercut at about the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 13. So 3rd and 13 now from the 37. Vikings up 13-0. 4-yard run by Dwight Walker, and then Curtis Jaskulski with a fumble recovery, 13-yard return. And the extra point on that second score was blocked. 3rd down and 13 coming up. Vandermouse to throw, and that's going to be short of his intended receiver, Jordan Fladine, and it will be 4th down.
4th down. Punting for Fort will be number 1, Vandermouse.
Vandermouse to kick the football away. Line of scrimmage, the 37-yard line. Snap back to him. Good looking kick, and this turns over on him. A jumping catch made at the 33. And return to the 46, so a 16-yard return. 30-yard punt and no return. I beg your pardon, a 16-yard return. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 46-yard line. Hobson working out of the shotgun on the first down play. Jonah O'Connor in motion. He gets the handoff on the end around, turns the corner inside Fort territory, and he's down at the 41-yard line. That's a 13-yard gain, and it'll be a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings from the 40. Well, they backed him up to the 43. So they'll actually give him 11 on that last run. Hobson gets the snap, handoff on the run, starts in the middle, kicks out this way. Walker trying to spin out of traffic. He cannot. He gets wrapped up by 3 Blackhawks and driven backwards. It's going to be a short gain for the senior Dwight Walker, and they'll call it a 1-yard gain, so it'll be 2nd down and 9. Actually, they'll even back him up further. So no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. 6.5 to go, first quarter. Vikings 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line. Nathan Hutcherson is the receiver way out over on the far side of the field. Hobson's got it. Handoff Arnott. Arnott breaks a couple of tackles, still on his feet. Now gets down to the 30 and inside the 30, maybe the 29-yard line. So that would be a pickup of 14, and it should be a first down. However, I believe we have a penalty flag down. We do. It's a pink flag. There's a pink flag on the field, and it's holding against the Vikings. That's why I did not see it, because I wasn't expecting a pink penalty flag tonight. So a 10-yard penalty will move the ball back to the Viking side of the field. They'll move it back to the 46. So now 2nd and about 21 from the 46-yard line of the Vikings. 5:52 to go in the first quarter. Hobson's got the snap, back to pass, looks, throws far side, catch made by Walker, and he'll streak down the far sideline, got about the penalty yardage back, and at the 45, so that would be a pickup of about 9, and we'll see where they actually mark him out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 45, so that gives him a 7-yard gain.
3rd and 13.
So now 3rd down and 13 from the 45. They need to get to about the 33-yard line of the Blackhawks for a first down. Hobson to pass again. This comes this way this time. Has a receiver, and that's Walker. No, it isn't either. It's Arnott, and Arnott stumbles inside the 30, down to the 27. That's a gain of 18, and a first down. So 1st and 10 from the 27-yard line. 5.5 to go, opening quarter. Hobson. Option play goes out to Arnott. Flag down. This time it's a yellow flag. Ball's loose, and another flag down.
Couple of flags down on the play.
And the tackle was made at about the 20-yard line, so we've got 2 markers on the field. One of them, looks like holding on both flags here. Holding is the call against Stoughton.
Holding against Stoughton.
So they move the ball back to the 39-yard line. And it will be first down and about 22. Clock runs as we approach 5:10 to play in the first. First and 22 for the Vikings after their second penalty of the night. And the handoff on the inside draw, now kicked out to the outside. That's Walker. He tiptoes the sideline and then gets pushed out of bounds. Looks like just shy of the 25-yard line. They'll mark him out at the 26. And so it's a gain of 13.
Second and 9. Timeout on the field.
And Fort calls timeout. So with 5 minutes even to play in the first quarter, timeout taken by the Blackhawks. It'll be second down and 9 coming up out of the timeout. And while we have a second here, let me tell you about this. Stoughton High School has received a WIAA Award of Excellence for the second straight year. The award recognizes member schools for sportsmanship, ethics, integrity, leadership, and character. So congratulations to Mel Dow, the athletic director, and the staff here at Stoughton High School for receiving the WIAA Award of Excellence. Second down and 9 for the Vikings at the Blackhawks' 26-yard line. 5 minutes to go in the first quarter. Vikings leading 13-0, looking to get into the playoffs again. That's O'Connor in motion across the formation. Snap back to Hobson, and Walker gets the handoff. He pushes the pile forward down to the 20-yard line. That's a gain of 6, and it'll set up a third down and about 3.
Here's 6, third and 3. Quinn Arnott on the carry.
And now we have timeout on the field. They move the ball down to the 16, so it's actually going to be a first down. So Arnott got that last run for 2 for a first down for the Vikings, and it's first and 10 from the 16-yard line. Hobson's got the snap. Walker straight up the gut, inside the 5 and down to the 4-yard line. That's a gain of 12.
First down. First and goal for the 5.
So first and goal. Handoff Walker again. This time he loses yardage. He's back to the 9. So Walker on the run and lost 4.
Run down by number 54, Michael Gutowski.
So second and goal now from the 9-yard line.
Second and goal.
Second down and goal, 9-yard line. Hobson waits for the snap. He's got it, and he'll run it himself. Gets surrounded by a sea of white, and he's stopped at the 5, so it's a pickup of 4. And it will be third down and goal from the 5-yard line.
Jones on the stop. Gain of about 4.
Vikings 1 for 1 on third down conversions tonight. And 3rd down and 5 coming here from the 5-yard, or 3rd and goal from the 5-yard line with 2:40 to play in the first quarter. Hobson has the snap, back to pass, looks, throws, back of the end zone, has a receiver, and it's caught. Drew Pasold for the touchdown from 5 yards out. So Hobson to Pasold for the touchdown. 5 yards. And we'll see what Cade Spildy does with the extra point. Snap. Placement and the kick is good.
The extra point is good.
And so 2:21 to go in the first quarter. It's now 20-0, and we'll take a look at our replay of the touchdown pass. Worked from this side all the way across the back of the end zone and left all by himself back there. And Pasold hauls it in, the senior. And so 3rd touchdown of the game for the Vikings, and it's now 20-0 with 2:21 to play in the first quarter.
All right, kicking off for Stoughton, number 22, Cade Spildy. Back deep for Fort, number 1, James Vandermouse, and number 4, Brent Turanga.
Vandermouse and Brent Turanga back deep to receive for the Blackhawks. I don't know if you heard it or not, but the pom-pom squad down on the track were counting out as they were doing leg kicks equal to the number of points that are on the board, and they just kicked 20 of them. So they may have a long evening in front of them. So Spildy to kick the football away here with 2:21 to go in the opening quarter. And Cade approaches, kicks it away, and this will be Bryce Mills for Fort on the return. And Bryce crosses the 30, he gets up to the 31, maybe the 32-yard line, and that's where Fort will take over 1st and 10 from there.
Cade Spildy tripped him up. Up at the 31, 1st and 10, Fort.
First and 10, Fort from the 32-yard line with 2:16 left. Vandermouse and Turanga will make up the backfield here with, again, 2:16 to go in the opening quarter. Vandermouse has it, looking to throw, in trouble. Pasold chases him out of the pocket, and Vandermouse still on the run. Pasold finally tracked him down from behind. A terrific job by Drew. He had run out of his grasp out in the backfield. He made a big loop and came all the way back, but not before Vandermouse picks up 4, and it's going to be 2nd down and 6 for Fort Atkinson at the 35-yard line. So they need to get to the 41-yard line for a 1st down. Minute and a half to go, or approaching here in the first quarter. Sideline. This time it's going to be Turanga. And Tarenga on the
Snap to Taringa.
right side this time. He gets up to the 40-yard line. Vandermouse hobbles off to the sideline to talk to the coach, and it's a pickup of 5. And it'll be 3rd down and a yard.
3rd and 2.
Third down and 2. Ball at the 40-yard line. Vandermouse right up the gut. He gets stood up, and forward progress looks to be enough for a 1st down. We'll see where they spot it. Looks to be about at the 42.5-yard line, so it'll be a pickup of 2, and it'll be a 1st down for Fort Atkinson. 30 seconds left here in the opening quarter. 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. Ford will bring in the play from the sideline here as the clock ticks down. 42-yard line, the line of scrimmage. Last play of the 1st quarter coming up. Vandermouse again runs right up the middle.
Vandermouse on the carry.
And he'll get to the 46. So that'll be a pickup of 4. And that'll be the end of the 1st quarter with our score. The Vikings 20 and the Blackhawks nothing. We will step away here for just a minute. We'll come back. 2nd quarter coming up. This is high school football, the Badger South Conference on WSTO TV.
I'm Shane, you're watching WSTO.
Take a step back to yesteryear. Friday nights from 5 until midnight, WSTO will be featuring classic movies, including such titles as The Brain That Wouldn't Die, His Girl Friday, and more. Friday night movies from 5 p.m. until midnight on WSTO TV and online at WSTO.TV.
And we welcome you back to Collins Field in Stoughton. James Weingard with you on WSTO TV. It is 20-0. The Vikings leading over Fort Atkinson here in this final regular season matchup of the season. And it's 2nd down and 7. Vandermouse on the run, and he will get hammered out of bounds here on this near side.
Nelson on the stop.
Picked up 3 on the play, on the run, and it's going to be 3rd down from the 48-yard line, just underway 2nd quarter. So 3rd down, ball at the Fort Atkinson 48-yard line. They need to get to the Viking 48 for a 1st. Snap back, Vandermouse on the run to the left side, and down he goes in a pile.
Vandermouse on the keeper.
Jacob Gibson on the stop for the Vikings.
Jacob Gibson on the stop.
And the tackle goes back to the 41, so a loss of 8. And so it's 4th and 11 now.
4th and 11.
Nathan Hutcherson back deep to receive the punt for the from the Blackhawks. First punt went 30 yards. Low snap. Kick on its way. It's an end-over-ender. And this will just kind of fall and be killed at the 37-yard line. 22 yards on the punt. There is a flag down.
There's a flag on the play.
And we will see what the penalty is all about. Block in the back against the Vikings. And we will see, let's see, they'll move it back inside the 35, inside the 30. So 10-yard penalty against Stoughton. And 1st and 10 coming up from the 28-yard line with just about a minute gone here in the second quarter. Hobson, there's a look at Adam. Gets a snap, handoff to Walker, right up the middle. Walker gets spun down by a series of white shirts across the 35 up to the 38, and that'll be a gain of 8. Second and 2. Hobson readies for the snap again, has it. Handoff on the right side. This time it's Quinn Arnott. 28 on the carry, that's Arnott. Gain of 5, and up to the 43, that's a first down. So 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 43-yard line. Hobson readies for the snap once again, has it, and heaves it down this near sideline for Hutcherson, who's got it. And Nathan will score. 57 yards on the touchdown pass. He got behind Will Neuser on defense, 57 yards, and it's a touchdown for the Vikings. Extra point coming up now for the Vikings as Spildy is out. Hobson is 4 for 4 for 87 yards tonight with 2 touchdowns now. And Spildy to try his 4th extra point of the evening. 2 have been good, 1 got blocked, and this one is good. And so with 9:46 to go in the first half, it's now 27-0. And we'll take a look at the long touchdown pass from Hobson to Hutcherson on our replay. Hutcherson there at the bottom of the screen took a couple of steps, got behind Neuser, and then just turned the jets on as he chases into the end zone from 57 yards out, and the Vikings with their 4th touchdown of the night, now 27-0. That is, with the 2 touchdowns tonight, that gives Nathan Hutcherson 14 touchdowns on the season to go with 6 interceptions. And he is 1 completion away from his 100th completion of the season. Right now, we've got him at 99 for 192 for 1,127 yards and 14 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. 9:46 to play here in the first half. Vikings in front, 27-0. And Speldy to kick the football away here. So Speldy readies, he approaches, and off it goes. This one a good-looking kick right down into the corner at the 10-yard line. Tarenga has it, breaks a tackle across the 30, still pushing forward, and he's up to the 34-yard line, so maybe even the 35-yard line, so good return, 25 yards for Fort, and it'll be first and 10 from the 35. First and 10 from the 35-yard line. 9:37 to play in the first half. Penalty flag down. Tarenga with it on the near side. He gets knocked down at the 43-yard line. It would be a gain of 8. However, there is a flag down on the far side of the field, and there's one down on this near side as well. There's that pink flag that caught me off guard earlier. On the other side, they're using the traditional yellow flag. And the penalty is an illegal formation against the Blackhawks, so that'll be their first penalty of the night. First penalty against Fort tonight. They have 1 for 5, Vikings 3 for 30. And it'll be first and 15 with 9.5 to play here in the opening half. First and 15 for Fort Atkinson as they break the huddle and get up to the line of scrimmage here as the clock ticks to 9 minutes. And Tarenga with a good-looking run and gets across the 45, 46-yard line, a gain of 16 and a first down. First down for the Blackhawks at the 45-yard line, just under 9 minutes left here in the first half. Bring the team up to the line at the 45. Tarenga again tries the middle. He gets knocked down by Drew Pasold after a gain of 3. And it'll be second down and 7 from the 48. Tarenga now 4 carries, 27 yards. It's cool tonight, but our redeeming grace here is that there's not much of any wind. So it's a relatively calm night, and of course, as I say that, now with my open window right in front of me, the breeze starts kicking in. And second and 7 from the 48, snap back. This time Vandermouse has it. He'll go off the left side, and he's going to lose a yard or 2. He's back to the 46. And so that'll be a loss of 2. Oh, no, he isn't. He got back to the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. And so third and 7. 7:10 to go. Three touchdowns in the first quarter. Dwight Walker, a fumble recovery, and then run back, and then 2 touchdown passes from Hobson, one to Paysold, one to Hutcherson. Has us at the point we are, 27-0 with 6:44 to go. And now we have a timeout called. Timeout taken by Fort Atkinson. So that's their second timeout of this first half, and gives me a chance to tell you Stoughton sophomore Kaylee Kotlowski finished 4th at the WIAA State Golf Tournament this week. She had a 152, which was 8 over for the 2-day tournament at University Ridge, and that was pretty good considering the conditions that we had this week with the rain and everything. So congratulations to Kaylee Kotlowski, 4th place finish at the WIAA State Girls Golf Tournament this week at University Ridge. 6:43 time remaining here in the first half, as it will be 3rd down and 7. Somebody just asked me if we were covering hockey because Soto is getting colder as the night has progressed. Hockey will be coming up next month, though. Not yet, but it'll be, I was just looking at that the other day. November 17th is our first hockey game. Vandermouse throws, that's incomplete.
Vandermouse's throw is incomplete.
Intended for Trent Hochtel, and it falls to the turf, and it's going to be 4th and 7. So, wait, go back to that. Vandermouse is now 1 of 3 for 7 yards. And 4th and 7 is the situation here, and another punt coming for the Blackhawks. Their 3rd punt of the night. They've got 2 punts for a total of 52, so a 26-yard average thus far. 48-yard line, the line of scrimmage here. Snap back to Vandermouse, and he puts a boot into it, an end-over-ender, which will be fielded at the 25. And, oh boy, Hutcherson was wrapped up around the knees, and then another one came in and hit him high and knocked him down. So that is a 27-yard punt and a 5-yard return.
First and 10 Vikings.
1st and 10 Vikings, as they will mark the ball at the 26-yard line. 6:31 to go in quarter number 2. Hobson readies for the snap. He's got it. Looking to throw. Quick throw. Oh, boy, that was behind Drew Anderson. And it falls incomplete. That's his first incompletion of the night. And it's now 2nd and 10 from the 26-yard line. Second down and 10 from the 26 with 6:27 to play. And Hobson readies. He's got it. And this time the handoff will go off the right side. Drew Walker. And Drew picks up 5, so it'll be 3rd down and 5.
John Clapp on the stop.
Or Dwight Walker, sorry. Drew is Anderson, Dwight is Walker. 3rd and 5, Hobson hands off and hurdling a couple of players. Walker again. Check that, that was Arnott, 28 on the run. And a gain of 6, and it'll be a 1st down. First and 10 for the Vikings.
Walker on the carry.
Walker on the carry that time. Gain of 9.
Joaquin on the stop.
And so it'll be 2nd and 1. Hobson's got it. Keeps it himself, throws the option out to Walker down the far sideline, and he steps out of bounds.
Yeah, Walker on the carry. That'll be good for Stoughton. First down.
At the 37. Gain of 14. And first down Vikings. Hobson keeps it himself this time as he crosses the 35 and down to about the 34-yard line. That's a pickup of 3. Gain of 4. So 2nd and 6. Walker again. This time he gets down to the 30-yard line. Gain of 4 that time, and it'll be 3rd down and 1.
3rd and 1.
Arnott with the run.
Quinn Arnott on the carry.
And he gets to the 28, which will be very, very close to a first down. Well, they'll mark him a little bit short, so a pickup of 1. And it'll be 4th down and less than a yard. Vikings 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions tonight. Walker's got it inside the 25, pushing the pile forward, and he lost the football, picked up by Fort Atkinson, and here they come back the other way. Inside the Viking territory down to the 40-yard line. So we'll give Walker a gain of 7. They stripped him of the football. And so the first turnover of the night for the Vikings puts the ball in Viking territory back at the 40-yard line. First and 10 for the Blackhawks from the Viking 40. 3:24 to go in the second quarter. Tarenga on the run. And Tarenga picks up a yard. It'll be 2nd and 9.
Jacob Gibson and Cage Gilly on the stop.
Approaching 3 minutes left here in the first half. Fort looking to get on the board here in the late stages of the second quarter. Second down and 9 from the Viking 39 after the fumble and return. Tarenga again with a blocker in front, trying to get the corner. He cannot, but he does pick up a couple of yards.
Drew Pasold on the stop.
Pasold and Caden Milbauer on the stop for the Vikings. Picked up a yard, and it's 3rd down and 8. Vandermoss comes trotting back in from the far sideline to bring the play in. Under 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. Back judge is counting the play clock down and a timeout called by Fort.
Timeout.
So that uses their last timeout of this first half. And a second and make it 3rd and 8 coming up here for the Blackhawks out of the timeout from the 38-yard line with 1:42 to play in the first half. Nice to have you alongside with us tonight on WSTO and WSTO.tv. James Weingard with you. And of course, you can also find us online on a few different social media platforms, not the least of which is Facebook.com, and you can find us at WSTO TV there. And you can find us on Twitter at WSTO TV. Of course, you can also find us on, TV, channel 981. And on our website, which is WSTO.tv, and of course our replays online are in stunning high definition. 3rd down and 8 for the Blackhawks at the Viking 38-yard line with 1:42 to go in the second quarter. Vandermus has it, looking to throw, lobs it high in the air, and this is going to be incomplete. Intended for Jordan Fladine at the 20-yard line, and so it will be 4th and 8 now from the 38.
4th down.
Fort coming off of a 41-6 loss to Milton last week. Vikings lost to Monona Grove 42-7. Vikings led 7-0 to start the game, but then gave up 42 straight points. Vikings won their first 5 games to start the season, and now again have lost 3. 4th and 8, back to pass. Vandermouse looking, throwing, and that wobbled out of his hands, and it's incomplete. And it will be a turnover on down, so 1st and 10 for the Vikings at their own 38-yard line with 90 seconds to go in the first half. First and 10 for Stoughton, leading 27-0 with a minute and a half to play here in the first half. Hobson with Arnott standing next to him. Hobson looking, throwing down the field, and oh, what a great catch by Trenton Conklin at the 31-yard line on his fingertips. And let's see, the referees are going to discuss things over. And they'll call it incomplete.
Pass is incomplete.
Boy, almost a tremendous catch there. And so they'll back it all the way up to the 38, where it'll be 2nd and 10. Second down and 10 from the 38, 1:25 left. Hobson checking things over, gets the snap, back to pass again. Looking, throwing this way, and that's going to be way too tall. Intended for Jonah O'Connor, and it went about 8 feet out of bounds, so it will be 3rd down and 10 now with a minute and 20 to go.
Third and 10.
So 3rd down and 10. Adam Hobson, the junior quarterback, 6'3", 191 pounds. They send 4 wide receivers out, 2 on either side. Quinn Arnott in the backfield with Hobson, who has the snap. Looking, throwing, and that's incomplete. Might have been broken up by Jacob Neighbor, and it will be 4th and 10 now for the Vikings, and they will have to punt. This will be Cade Spildy's first punt tonight. 2 weeks ago, he rattled it a punt off of 63 yards. His first punt of the night was 63, and we'll see what he does here. 63 would put it in the end zone. So line of scrimmage here is the 38 of the Vikings. Spildy's got it. And this one, a corkscrew kick. Nobody was back to receive. Takes a Viking hop, and it will fall dead at the 15-yard line. 47 yards on the punt.
47-yard punt.
And no return. 1st and 10 for Fort Atkinson from their own 15-yard line with 1 minute and 6 to go. .106 left here in the first half. It's 1st and 10 for Fort Atkinson from their own 15-yard line. Fort will get the football to start the second half. Tarenga has it. Oh, he ran into the official. Down he goes. Brooks Empey comes in to help the referee back up, and they get it. There's a flag down on top of that. Holding against Stoughton.
There's a flag on the play.
Well, the official pointed in the Vikings' direction, but they're going to move the ball back in Fort's direction, so they'll move it back half the distance. So it'll be at the 6-yard line now, so that's a penalty worth 9. 1st and 19 from the 6. 57 seconds left in the first half. Tarenga on the run. Vikings
on the stop.
called time. Tarenga got to the 16-yard line. No, he didn't either. He got to the 11-yard line, which would be a gain of 2. So it'll be 2nd and 14 from there with 52 seconds left. Vikings call their first timeout of this first half. Both teams with 1 turnover tonight, both by way of fumble. The Fort fumble came in the first quarter on a snap over the quarterback's head, scooped up by the Vikings and carried 13 yards into the end zone for a touchdown. Vikings fumbled on their last drive. And we have 52 seconds remaining here in the first half. First game in a long time I've been able, when I am talking or something, I'm seeing my breath tonight. It's chilly out here. I was just looking at my watch temperature. We're in the 30s now. We started at 40, we're down to 38. So 2nd and 14 from the 11-yard line. Vandermouse with it. Option, nope, he kept it. No, he didn't either. That is going to be Fladine with it, and there's a flag down.
He didn't know on the stop. There's a flag on the play.
So flag down. Looks like maybe 2 flags are down. They move the ball back to the 6-yard line.
Our reception was holding on that.
So holding apparently was the call there. They wind the clock. We're down to 33 seconds, and now the Vikings will call their second timeout of the half. And it's going to be, let's see, they need to get to the 25, and they're at the 6. So if my abacus tells me I'm right, it's going to be second down and 19 coming out of the timeout. Abacus, one of those things with the beads on it, the old Chinese calculator. Second and 19 coming up here for Fort Atkinson to start off, or after the timeout here with about 33 seconds to go. There's a look at our guy Brandon upstairs, up on the roof of this of our press box. He's cold up there. Our buddy Spencer's down on the field, down by the end zone. I'm sure chills are running through him down there as well. Second and 19 from the 6-yard line. Vikings still have one more timeout. And Trent Hochtel on the run, no gain on the play, and it's going to be third down and 20 from the 5-yard line, and the clock stops again with 21 seconds, actually to the 4-yard line, so lost 2. And second down and 21 coming up here with 21 seconds left in the first half. Looks like we have an official's timeout here rather than a Viking timeout, as there's a Blackhawk player down on all fours injured. Not sure who that is, didn't see a number yet. So the injured player is down at the 5-yard line, and it's Hochtel who's the injured player. So he gets up and he'll walk off under his own power, which is good to see. Stops for a minute though. You see him walking off on the top of the screen. So it'll be third down and 21 for Fort Atkinson at their own 4-yard line. Vikings still do have one timeout remaining. So I would anticipate seeing, after this play, barring a first down here, timeout taken by the Vikings. All right, so the referees bring the teams back out, and it's third down and 21 from the 4. "21 seconds left. They wind the clock. Fort will not have to run another play if they don't want to here. And they will not. So we have reached the end of the second quarter, the end of the first half with our score. The Vikings 27 and Fort Atkinson 0. We'll take a timeout and come back. Second half coming up. This is high school boys football, the Badger South Conference on WSTO TV.
I'm Shane. You're watching WSTO.
When a hospital feels like more than just a hospital, where you're treated with care every step of the way, where making appointments is convenient for your schedule, where staff can assist you with your insurance questions and work with health plans from Dean Health, Physicians Plus, Unity Health, and more, where parking is easy and just a short drive from anywhere in southern Wisconsin. Ask for Stoughton Hospital. Stoughton Hospital, trusted care close to home.
Take a step back to yesteryear. Friday nights from 5 until midnight, WSTO will be featuring classic movies, including such titles as The Brain That Wouldn't Die, His Girl Friday, and more. Friday night movies from 5 p.m. until midnight on WSTO TV and online at WSTO.tv.
Ladies and gentlemen, now on the field, your Viking Marching Band! Tonight the band will be performing their 2018 production titled Touring Back 360. Drum Major Dylan Lehman, is your band ready? Ladies and gentlemen, your Viking Marching Band! Ladies and gentlemen, next up the Stoughton Dance Team. Tonight the team will be dancing to a routine choreographed by sophomore dancer Amy Balthazar. Put your hands together for the Stoughton Dance Team! Ladies and gentlemen, your Stoughton Dance Team! Next up on the field, put your hands together for the Stoughton Cheer Squad!
The truth will set you free. So first, I get it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Stoughton Cheer Squad! Hey, just in case you're wondering, we have a Brewer score update for you. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Milwaukee. All right, time for the 50-50 raffle. If you have your red ticket, get that ticket out. I have a winning number. Tonight's winner gets $271. If I call that ticket number, please head over to the Sports Booster tent as you walk in and collect your winnings. Again, your winnings tonight are $271. That winning ticket number is 358 7976. 358 7976. Congratulations on winning $271 in our 50-50 raffle tonight. Thanks for playing.
One has to keep warm somehow, doesn't one? It is 27-0. The Vikings lead over Fort Atkinson as we welcome you back to Collins Field here in Stoughton to begin the third quarter. And our scoring summary through the first half: Dwight Walker with a 4-yard touchdown run with 10:21 to go. Extra point was good. Vikings lead 7-0. 10:12 left, so that would only be 9 seconds difference. Curtis Jaskulski, a fumble recovery from 13 yards out, scoop and score. Extra point was blocked, and at that point it is 13-0. 2:21 left in the first quarter. Adam Hobson to Drew Pacehold, a 5-yard pass. Extra point good, 20-0 after the first quarter. And then it was Adam Hobson to Nathan Hutcherson, a 57-yard pass with 9:46 left in the second. Extra point good there, and they made our score 27-0. Our Stoughton Hospital stats report through the first half looks like this. Fort Atkinson with 17 carries, 31 yards rushing, 1 completion on 5 attempts passing for 7 yards, total of 38, 1 turnover, and 3 for 19 yards in penalties. Vikings with 24 rushes for 166, passing 4 for 7 for 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. Total of 253 yards, 1 turnover, and 3 penalties for a total of 30 yards. And that's our Stoughton Hospital stats report for through the first half. And it's going to be Fort Atkinson football to start the second half.
Fort Atkinson will be receiving for the second half.
Taking a look at weather right now, the temperature, as promised in the look at the forecast in the first half, has dropped into the 30s now. We're down to 38. I think my phone we've got 36, but even still, one way or the other, it's chilly. And cloudy skies and light east winds. So we get ready for the second half. Again, Vikings looking to get into the postseason, to the playoffs with a win tonight.
Welcome to a balmy 38 degrees here in Stoughton tonight.
Cade Spildy to kick the football away to Fort Atkinson to start this third quarter. While we have a second, a personal note, if I may. A 2009 graduate of Stoughton High School, Cassie Krotzenberg, is getting married tomorrow, and she is marrying Tyler Fleischman in Sun Prairie, and we want to pass along best wishes and congratulations to 2009 graduate of Stoughton High School, Cassie Krotzenberg, on her wedding tomorrow, or actually on their wedding tomorrow, which I will be attending. So Spildy to kick the football away to begin the third, and off it goes. This is a little pooch kick, and it falls in a big pile up. Who's got it? Who's got it? The referee's calling timeout, and the Vikings have it. How about that? So the Vikings will get the little pooch kick turnover to start the second half. Of course, they need a football in order to play. They were delayed getting the football in. Now we're ready to go. So they'll mark it at the 42-yard line. First and 10 Vikings on the Blackhawk 42. And here we go. Third quarter. Quinn Arnott with the run. Picked up a yard. Down to the 42-yard line. 2nd and 9 from there. As you mentioned, Vikings had 166 yards rushing in the first half. Second and 9 for Stoughton from the 42-yard line. Snap back. Option goes to Arnott. Stutter steps, now takes off down the far sideline. Turns the corner, gets run out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. And they'll mark him out at the 28, so that'll be a pickup of 13. First down. Marked out at the 28, so a first down and 10 for the Vikings. 11 minutes even to go in the third quarter. Arnott 9 carries, 74 yards now tonight. Adam Hobson keeps it himself, gets a block, turns the corner, inside the 10, dives to the end zone, and he's going to be out at the 1-yard line. A gain of 26 for the quarterback. So Adam now with 4 carries for a total of 38 yards, and it's going to be first and goal from the 1-yard line. There's a look right down the line. Hobson works a rare play under center, and that's going to be a mix-up in the backfield. Flags down, ball's down. They tried to get it into Kyle Anderson's gut. So this was a mess at best. The ball is back to the 8-yard line, so it'd be a loss of 7 on the run for number 8. But there's also a flag down. Referees are discussing the flag. So whatever it was, the referee just waved it off. He didn't come over and tell us what the play what the call was. Linesman over on the far side of the field talking with the Fort Atkinson coach. It didn't appear as though that the officials had said anything about about a fumble or anything. I didn't see any signal to indicate that it was Fort's ball to begin with. So the referee giving an earful to somebody.
All right, second down. Second and goal from the 8.
So second and goal from the 8. Not entirely clear as to what that was all about, but Cade Spildy on the run. He took the ball from the quarterback position, and they're coming right into your living room, and he gets to the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. So 10:36 left here in the third.
So Spildy in from 8 yards out. And the Vikings will go for 2 to get it to 35. Hobson under center. And the handoff this time was to Kyle Anderson. And no, it isn't either. It was Ian McClements, the senior, and he was not quite able to get to the end zone. So the 2-point conversion fails. And the new score is the Vikings 33 and Fort Atkinson nothing. An interesting play there as they tried to kind of help him along. We'll take a look at the touchdown run from Cade Spildy. There you see Spildy's lined up as a quarterback. He gets the snap and then the run off to this near side and coming right into camera guy Spencer's lap down there. And so 10:36 left here in the third. It's now 33-0.
Back keeper for Atkinson. Brett Moringa and number 82, Brandon Castro.
Spildy to kick off here with 10:36 left in the third. Looked at a little bit of an onside kick last time. We'll see what Cade does this time. And this time he puts a boot into it, and it'll come down at the 12-yard line. Tarenga with it. Tarenga with a good run back, and he's up to the 36-yard line, a return of 24.
Trenton Conklin on the stop.
Injured Blackhawk player is Austin Maxwell. So the trainer's out to take a look at him. Ten and a half minutes to go, third quarter. Vikings in front. Trainer's still out working on Maxwell. So he's up and trotting off the field under his own power. Good to see that.
Another Brewer update, bottom of the fourth inning. Milwaukee 4, LA 1. First and 10 from the 34.
Ford comes back out onto the field now to start the next drive. First and 10 from their own 34-yard line. Vandermouse gets the snap, heads off to the far side, and gets spun down behind the line of scrimmage. Cade Spildy tackled him and then brought him back up. Loss of 4, and it's back to the 30-yard line. Clock runs with under 10 minutes to go. I was looking at other scores, football scores from around the state tonight, and I would imagine that this is a typo, but there's a score between Brookfield Academy and Hope Christian of 1-0. Tarenga with the run.
Tarenga the ball carrier.
And he picks up, looks like about 3. Give him 2.
3rd and 12.
So 3rd down and 12 coming up here for Fort Atkinson. Ball spotted at their own 33-yard line. So 3rd and 12. Tarenga has it. Escapes out of the backfield. Gets across the 35 up to the 36-yard line. The pickup of 3. Gain of 3 for Tarenga. And it will be 4th down.
Gain of about 4 on the play. 4th down. Center box the front for Fort. Back deep for Stoughton.
Hutcherson and
Jacob Hutcherson.
Brooks Empey back deep to receive the punt from Vandermouse. .36-yard line of scrimmage. Low snap. Flags down. And a false start against the Fort, against the Blackhawks. There's that pink flag on the field as all levels of football recognize Breast Cancer Awareness Month here in October. This will be the 5th punt of the night for Fort Atkinson, and it's coming on a 4th and now 13. Vandermouse has it, puts a boot into it, and this will get past Hutcherson, uses the referee as a pick, now turns the corner. 50, 45, 40, 35, cuts back into the middle of the field, has one man to beat, and he's going to be tackled from behind, loses the football, but the ground caused the fumble, and there's a flag down all the way back at the Viking 38-yard line.
There's actually a couple of flags in the play.
There's a flag at the Viking 38. There's another one at the Blackhawk 43. .29 yards was the punt. 29 was the punt. But, and then 63 was the return, or 62 was the return. However, 2 flags down,
Block in the back.
an illegal block in the back, moves it from the 38. Well, the signal the referee just gave was pass interference, but we know that it's a block in the back. So they move the ball all the way back to the 24-yard line.
All right, no penalty. The ball will be moved back to the 24. 1st and 10, Stoughton.
So 1st and 10 Vikings from their own 24-yard line. 7:50 to play in quarter number 3. Adam Hobson stays in as quarterback. Hutcherson in motion. Hutcherson has it, flag down. Hutcherson out of bounds at the 37, and it's an illegal shift against the Vikings.
Illegal shift against Stoughton.
So they'll move the ball back on the 5-yard penalty back to the 20-yard line. Referees figuring out the penalty. And
All right, after the penalty,
10,
will
20,
be first
30,
and
and
15
20. 50 yards. 5 penalties for 50 yards tonight against the Vikings.
from the 19.
So first and 15 from just inside the 20. Hobson has the snap, back to pass. Now pulls it down, throws far side, catch made. All by himself up the far sideline, cuts back toward the middle, spins his way out to the 49-yard line. Dwight Walker on the run, that's a gain of 30. And a first down.
Gain of 30 on the play, it's Stoughton, first down.
Yard line is the line of scrimmage. Back to pass, Hobson throws this way. That's going to be Jonah O'Connor. O'Connor cuts back in toward the middle, trying to step his way out of a tackle. Can't quite do it, but he gets down to the 41-yard line of the Blackhawks, which will be close to another first down. Looks like it's going to be a little bit short, so we'll give him 9 on the play. Second and 1 now, as Hobson is 6 of 9 for 126. Here's a run up the middle, and that goes to Dwight Walker. Walker down to the 31-yard line. That's a pickup of 10, and that'll be a first down. Throw goes out to the far side. O'Connor again, as he gets wrapped up and at the 30-yard line, pickup of 1. Second and 9 now for the Vikings on the Blackhawk 30-yard line. Hobson keeps it himself, turns upfield, dives down at the 16-yard line. That's a pickup of 14. So Hobson now 5 carries, 52 yards on the night, and it's first and 10 for the Vikings. Handoff goes to Walker this time. He's inside the 10 and down to about the 8. That's a pickup of 8. So Walker picks up 8. And now we've got a timeout called. Drew Hebby, the injured Blackhawk player, as he goes off to the far sideline. Second and 3 from the 9-yard line. Quinn Arnott with a burst of speed up the middle and into the end zone for a touchdown. So a 9-yard run by Quinn Arnott gets the Vikings on the board again. It's now 39-0. And extra point coming. Vikings will go for 2 here. Ian McClements gets into the end zone for a 2-point conversion. And with that 2-point conversion, it goes to 41-0. And he is going to get a hero's welcome on the sideline. Take a look at the replay. Arnaud 28 here on this in the foreground. He gets the handoff, blasts right up the middle, and carries the defender into the end zone for a touchdown. So we are at 5:36 to go here in the third, and that puts the count to 41-0, and that'll put us in running time for the remainder, for the time being anyway.
Kicking off for Stoughton will be number 22.
Speldy to kick off here with 5:36 left in the third quarter. Kick on its way, and this will be fielded at the 13-yard line. Taranga bowls over one of the Viking players. Looked like, or actually may have run into his own player. 27-yard line will be the line of scrimmage here.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, number Brewer score, top of 5, Milwaukee 5, LA 7. Just kidding, LA 1. 5-1.
First and 10 for the Blackhawks at the 27-yard line with clock running, 4:50 to play. Vandermouse with the run up on the right side, and he will get to about the 30 for a pickup of 2. Second and 8 coming up.
Second and 7 from the 30.
Second and 8 from the 30-yard line for Fort Atkinson. Whistle stops play, and the Blackhawks call timeout.
Timeout on the field, timeout, Fort Atkinson.
So Vikings up 41-0, and the Blackhawks call time. They'll have a second and 7, second and 8 coming out of the timeout. Fort rushing tonight, 21 carries for 35 yards. Passing, 1 of 5 for 7 yards. Vikings rushing, 34 for 245. Adam Hobson passing is 7 of 10 for 127. I have to be careful about my dance moves because I'll not be paying attention and I'll end up in the great annals of Stoughton television history like that.
2nd and 7.
Second down and 8 now from the 30-yard line, 3:49 to go. Run goes up the middle and then gets stuffed backwards.
Vandermouse on the carry.
Vandermouse on the run. Give him a yard. So 3rd down and 7 now for Fort from the 31-yard line. Third down and 7, approaching 3 minutes left here in the third. Another running play.
Tarenga, the ball carrier.
Tarenga, the ball carrier, and he will get another yard. So give him 1.
He has 1.
He's got 11 carries for 38 yards tonight. And it'll be 4th down and 5. James Vandermouse to kick the football away. Nathan Hutcherson stands back at his own 40. This is punt number 6 for Fort Atkinson tonight. Snap back to Vandermouse and a high end-over-end kick that will take a sideways hop and go out of bounds. And they'll mark the ball out at the 48. 18 yards on the punt. First and 10 for the Vikings coming up here from their own 48-yard line. Clock runs with 1:45 to play in the third. Adam Hobson remains in as quarterback for the Vikings. Sweep comes around this way. Dom Miller on the run. Flag down, 2 flags down. There's a flag in the middle, and then this near side linesman also threw a flag. And clock stopped with 1:07. Block in the back against the Vikings. And a personal foul against Stoughton as well.
And a personal foul against Stoughton.
So they're going to enforce both penalties here. So a 10 plus a 15. And that moves the ball back to the 28-yard line. Diplomatically put, it's 1st and long. Let's see. 28, so 22... 27, 30, yeah, 1st and 30. And we've reached the end of the third quarter, too. So that's the end of the third quarter with our score, the Stoughton Vikings 41 and the Fort Atkinson Blackhawks nothing. We'll step away and come back for the fourth quarter. This is high school boys football, the Badger South Conference on WSTO TV.
I'm Shane, you're watching WSTO.
Take a step back to yesteryear. Friday nights from 5 until midnight, WSTO will be featuring classic movies, including such titles as The Brain That Wouldn't Die, His Girl Friday, and more. Friday night movies from 5 p.m. until midnight on WSTO TV and online at WSTO.tv. Back at Collins Field, James Weingard with you, WSTO TV. It is 41-0, Vikings in front of Fort Atkinson as we begin the fourth quarter. And it is 1st and 30 for Stoughton after they just got penalized a holding call, which was 10, and a dead ball personal foul on top of that, which was another 15. So it's 1st and 30 from the Viking 27-yard line, and they need a first down at the 42 of Fort Atkinson. Dwight Walker on the carry. And Walker gets 10 of that 30 back. So it'll be 2nd and 20 from about the 38-yard line. Second and 20 for Stoughton. Snap back to Hobson. Walker's got it, and a burst right up the middle. Breaks a couple of tackles, runs over a few players, steps out of another tackle inside the 20, inside the 15, and down to the 10-yard line. 53 yards on the run.
53 yards. That's good for Stoughton. First down.
So first down. They'll spot the ball at the 12-yard line. Walker again sidesteps his way through the pile, gets inside the 10 to about the 9-yard line. We'll give him 3 on that run. So that gives Walker 17 carries for 159 yards tonight. And it's going to be 2nd and 7 from the 9-yard line. Approaching 10 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Second and 7. Walker again. Nope, it's going to be Hobson this time. Hobson keeps it, and he's down at the 7-yard line, a pickup of 2. And it'll be 3rd down and 4 from there. Hobson, well, just looking at the numbers, Hobson 6 carries, 54 yards. Arnott 11 for 90. Walker 17 for 159. So just those 3 is one, well, why should I add it when I have a computer here that will do it for me? 303 just among those 3 players. .313 yards total. Option toss goes out to Walker, and he finds the end zone for a touchdown. 7 yards out. So Walker with his 2nd touchdown run of the night.
The extra point.
Speldy to try the extra point, and it is no good. Missed wide to the right. We'll take a look at the replay of the touchdown run. Walker. That's not a touchdown. That looks like a 2-yard run to me. Somebody told me a story. We'll try that again later.
9:07 to go in the fourth, and it's 47 to nothing. Just about on average here for points allowed. Now we'll look at the touchdown, and you got a block. Adam Hobson threw his arms up in the air. The pom-pom squad down on the track doing 47 kicks for the number of points. Well, they did, let's see, they've done 47, 88, 121, 148, 68. They've done 188 kicks just on points tonight so far. Good for them. 9:07, time remaining here in the fourth quarter. Spildy to kick the football away. And this one is sailed out of bounds into the track. And so it'll be 1st and 10 for the Blackhawks at their own 40-yard line. They are going to make them kick again, it would appear. So the defense comes off, the kicking team goes back on.
All right, I guess we're going to re-kick.
I think at this point it would be safe to say that the Vikings will win this game and head into the postseason, the playoffs. They needed to win tonight by to get a record higher than 500 in the conference. So with tonight's win, they'll be 4-3 in the Badger South, and so they should be playing in the postseason next week. Don't know opponent, don't know place, time. I'm pretty sure will be 7 o'clock on Friday night. But as far as opponent and where, best we can tell you for that at this point would be to check your local listings. Here's a ground ball by Spildy and covered up at the 41-yard line. A couple of his teammates come over and cover him up as well.
Brian Cummings is running down the ball. 1st and 10 for it.
But one way or the other, tonight will be our last football game of the season, as we won't cover postseason games. So tonight we'll wrap up our coverage of football, and then I'll take a month off, and we'll catch up again in middle of November for hockey, boys and girls hockey. My 15th year of doing hockey on TV here in Stoughton. So looking forward to that, coming up about a month from now. November 17th, I think, is our first game. First home game, I should say. So 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. Tony Torres on the run for Fort Atkinson, 46. And he picked up a yard.
Tyler Hanson on the stop. Gain of 1, that'll be 2nd and 9.
So 2nd down and 9 coming up for Fort Atkinson. We're under 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Second and 9 now. Tarenga goes up the middle.
Tarenga the ball carrier.
And he'll pick up a couple. So 3rd down and 7 coming up here for Fort.
Check in will be Rudy Detweiler on the stop. 3rd and 7.
Brent Tarenga Jr., number 4, 12 carries, 40 yards tonight. Got some JV players out on defense now. Here's Tarenga coming this way, flag down. And so is Tarenga after he crosses the 45 to the 46-yard line. So
Ron Schultz on the stop.
the
There's a flag on the
pink
play.
penalty flag is on the field. Illegal formation against the Blackhawks, and the Vikings decline it. So the run gets to the 45, and that'll be a pickup of 2.
4th and 6.
So 4th down and 6 from the 45-yard line as we are down to 5:50 and counting here in the 4th. They need the Viking 49-yard line for a first down. And that didn't work.
Tony Torres on the carry. Stopped by Bezies. Ball turns over on downs. First and
Torres
10.
on the run there, and no gain on the play. So turnover on downs. Vikings ball at the 45-yard line of Fort Atkinson. 5 minutes left in the contest. Jonah O'Connor is in at quarterback now for the Vikings. At the 44, O'Connor's got it. And he's going to take off around the right side, cuts back inside, carries a Blackhawk player inside the 35 to the 33. That'll be a pickup of 12, and it'll be a first down.
Gain of 12 is good for Stoughton. First down.
First and 10 from the 34-yard line. O'Connor hands it off to Jack Rilling.
Jack Rilling, the ball carrier.
And there are flags down. It will go against the Vikings. Holding against the Vikings. That's 90 yards and penalties against the Vikings tonight. So it's back to the 46-yard line. 3 minutes left. Josh Dullum on the carry. And Dullum gets nothing on the gain, or on the run.
Second and long.
Run goes out to the other side. That's going to be Rilling again.
Keegan R. now stand up and stop. Put it down.
So third down now from the 43-yard line. Snap back. O'Connor flushed out, throws, and it's caught by Connor Wheeler.
Caught by Connor Wheeler.
Wheeler down at the 40-yard line, pickup of 3.
Gain of 3 in the play, it'll bring up fourth down.
And it's going to be fourth down and 16. Fourth and 16 for the Vikings as we tick under a minute left in the game. And O'Connor to pass. He's in trouble. Throws. Catch is made. Oh, good spin move there by Rilling, but he's going to be about 5 yards short to the first down. He'll be down at the 30-yard line, so that'd be a pickup of 10. And so a turnover on downs. 10. And so the Blackhawks will take over for the last 20 seconds. And it looks like the Blackhawks are going to reel it in here, and the Vikings come trotting off the field, and we will not have another play tonight. So our final score is going to be the Vikings 47 and the Blackhawks nothing. Taking a look at stats from the ball game tonight for the Blackhawks, they ran the ball a total of 27 times for 42 yards. Passing, they were 1 of 5 for 7 yards, so 49 yards of offense for Fort. Rushing tonight for the Vikings, 43 carries for 335 yards, and passing 9 of 12 for 140. And so that is our recap of the stats. In the second half, Cade Speldy, an 8-yard run with 10:36 left in the third. 2-point conversion failed. Vikings led at that point 33-0. 5:36 left in the third. Quinn Arnott, a 9-yard run. Ian McClements, a 2-point conversion was good to make it 41-0 at that point. And then with 9:07 in the fourth, Dwight Walker got his second touchdown run of the evening. And that was a 6-yard run. Extra point was missed. And the final score tonight, 47-0. So with the win, the Vikings improve to 4-3 in the Badger South. They're 6-3 overall, and Fort drops to 0-7 in the conference and 0-9 overall. You know, it's always a little bittersweet when we're done with coverage of one sport and head into another. Everybody has been very good to us again, as always, and a very special thanks, as always, to our crew. Tonight, Spencer and Brandon on cameras, Jacob on graphics, Derek producing and directing, of course, in the truck. And we hope you've enjoyed our broadcast through the course of the football season. We will see you down the road for more sports. I'll be back with you in November for hockey. And until then, James Weingart from Collins Field saying thanks so much for being with us tonight. Again, our final score, the Vikings 47 and the Fort Atkinson Blackhawks nothing. This has been a presentation of WSTO Sports in association with Stoughton High School. For more, go online, WSTO.TV. Thanks for being with us all season. See you next year. James Weingart from Collins Field. Good night from Stoughton.
This broadcast of Stoughton High School football on WSTO TV is brought to you by Stoughton Hospital. For more than 100 years, our neighbors in the Stoughton area have trusted Stoughton Hospital to provide personalized, forward-thinking, expert health care. Stoughton Hospital is a proud supporter of WSTO programming. Trusted care close to home. The UPS store of Stoughton. You can't do it all at once, but you can do it all in one place. 2364 Jackson Street, next to Papa Murphy's. Hanson Electronics, your local U.S. Cellular authorized agent and Radio Shack dealer. Inkworks of Stoughton, unique digital and offset solutions. Pizza Pit of Stoughton, fresh, fast, and hot delivery of our great pizzas, sandwiches, chicken, and more. And McGlynn Pharmacy, your local full-service pharmacy with free delivery.